From a little cover, I got my dreams in sight. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roof to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my forest crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this beautiful afternoon. I am Professor Bear, and this is a Bear's Thoughts. And guys, girls, I've been having such a wonderful time getting to talk to so many different promoters and getting to learn what they go through to try to give us an amazing show for 2-3 hours to help us forget about our issues and enjoy the sport that we love of professional wrestling. Well, today I am blessed to have another great promotion to talk to. This is Alex, and he represents Indiana Heritage Wrestling. Alex, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing all right, my friend. It's nice weather. Even though I'm wearing a jacket, but hey, I rather enjoy like a nice weather rather than dealing with winter or hot summer. I rather like have like spring like weather.
I can agree with you there, my friend. One thing before we get into depth into the interview, what I just did, if y'all look over, you will see their logo. What I want you to do is be able to go and look at their product. But as with anything, we know there a lot of times there's a lot of same names, similar names, and you're confused on if you got the right promotion or not. So we're going to stop that right from the gate. And when you see that logo, you know you got the right promotion. Now, also above me, there is a QR code. That QR code will take you directly to their Facebook page. Go give them a like, a follow, and check them out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Now, with all that being said, Alex, the first question I always ask my guests is this: how did you become a wrestling fan?
Well, let's just say it started when I was a little kid in elementary school. It was when a friend of mine who lived across the street from me. Right now, we're big, longtime best friends of all. He's the one that actually got into like being a wrestling fan. I would always like go over to his house. We would always go like, I would always come over to his house to like play like wrestling video games that he like had like SmackDown versus Raw, like 2006, 2005 or 7, which one we had. He got me into playing that. And then first, like he also owned like DVDs too and got me into watching it too as well. And then like by the time when it was like Friday, which of course it was always like Friday night SmackDown, he got me. I would go over there, watch it with him, like watch the matches and stuff. And that's how I got into like becoming a wrestling fan. I mean, right now because I didn't know like Monday Night Raw exists because I didn't know what channel it was on. So I started watching it at home where like they had like Monday Night Raw, ECW on Tuesdays on Sci-Fi, Friday Night SmackDown, and then back then they used to have like Thursdays like WWE Superstars. I started watching that. So that's all, and I can tell you that's how my friend he got me to being a wrestling fan.
That's very cool. Um, and I always love the fact that it's always either family or friends that actually get a lot of people into loving wrestling because I think it's just it's infectious because you're excited, then you want your friend beside. Hey, you got to enjoy this. This is such a great thing, and you never watched it, but you see how excited your friend, and it's like, okay, I got to know what's going on. So,
Right. Heck, even
so
even like my father, like he even told me like him and his friend one time a long time ago they went to a WrestleMania when they came to Indy, like back when we used to have like the Hoosier Dome Stadium, which was WrestleMania 8. And my dad even told me like he had like the good classic Bret Hart glasses, and he has them somewhere like back at his old parents' house up there in Muncie. He just had to go find them where they are. Where they are.
oh, no, that's pretty cool. So, how did you go from just being a wrestling fan to getting in the wrestling business?
Well, as for starters, like this is the like advice I always give. Like I was always given advice from other people. Like to get into professional wrestling, you always want to make sure you want to find like a good professional wrestling school. So around like late like 2022 is when I need to do something with my life. Because like not only that, like for me, like as a, like a background for like before wrestling, I used to do martial arts. I did that for 11 years. I even earned my first degree, junior black belt. And then by the time I graduated high school, and then like all these years, I'm like, like when you go like grow up, like in high school, you always get asked, what do you want to do with your life and stuff like that. And I always want to be like a wrestler. So I waited till like about 2022. I was like, this is something I need to try. So what I did was I found a wrestling school that was closer to me, which was about 30 minutes, like that was in Shelbyville. Of course, I went to their open house. I met like the coaches and their co-coaches and stuff. And then, of course, went to their orientation. And, of course, that's when I signed their contract and stuff. And then that's when I officially joined the class. And that's how I got into the business.
So, how long was the training for you?
The program itself, it was a 15-month program. And that's where that's where like you learn all like basic moves, the wrestling psychology, because that's what you basically want to learn. You don't want to go to like, because like I said, you always want to find a good school, because right now there are a really plethora of really bad schools that will probably like take your money. They'll promise you, I can make you a pro wrestler in 10 weeks. No, they'll teach you how to do moves in 10 weeks. I can even teach a monkey how to do moves in 10 weeks. And in like training, it takes days, weeks, months of practice to learn everything. Starting from like if you like learn like in a match, starting from like from step 1 to step 5, which is the final step, like how to end the match.
So, with that being said, what did you find was the most difficult things to adjust to for yourself?
Well, to me, sometimes like when I'm like with the training and stuff, I mean, I was overweight, so I had to like make a change to like outside of like a training because we were training like 2 days a week. And then like by the time like on my days, like when we don't have training, like go to gym, go get in shape, work out, do cardio and stuff. And I was doing good at that. And then of course by the time we would do like our because usually like in the program, like I said, it's 15 months, but then it goes by like weeks, like week 50. By the time like you're week 52, or like between like before that is when you start like getting into like mock matches. The difficult for me like in mock matches is like doing a move, but it kind of like makes sense, like how you like put a match together. Sometimes I could get lost. To me, like I get lost, I get confused. I'm like oh my god, what am I doing? Like I gotta do something like in this match. Like if I'm gonna do this move, it has to make sense. Because you're told like if that like if you're doing that move, like there's an old saying to this. If it doesn't like what you're doing right there, if it doesn't make dollars, then it doesn't make sense.
Right, right. So after going through the training and stuff, um, where how often were you getting booked?
Well, let's just say there was like some promotions like where I was training at, like they would have their shows like on the third Saturday like of the month. Now there are like times like they're like they'll have like 2 months like May and December is when they don't run their shows. And there's like other shows like they run second Saturday. And then like there's like another promotion that I work at. They run their shows every Saturday and one final Friday of the month.
Okay. So what made you decide you wanted your own promotion?
Well, because to me, like with because I bought this promotion last year. I mean, because this promotion existed like early like 2023. It turned out it was a fake promotion, but when the popularity people started coming, like all the fan stuff, they're getting into it. So we turned it into a real company. So now Indiana Heritage Wrestling is now officially an actual promotion company. Like it's a real company that I can book people to work the show, and I can draw fans in that want to come and watch the show.
So what was the biggest challenge for you with this being something new to you? What's the biggest challenge so far?
Well, learn like number one with the show. Let's just say is finding the venue to run the show at. That's number one. And then
Mm,
number two is people like trying to book the people that could be available for the show, because you never know, like if you want like, this person booked, be like, hey, are you available for the show, because I want to book you. Like I want to work for your show, but I'm booked somewhere else that I have to commit to that.
right. So with that, what's how do you do with the ring? Do you own a ring or do you rent a ring?
I will rent a ring from someone.
All right. What about do you are you booking show to show or do you try to do long-term booking?
Well, I want to do like one show. That my plan is like to do one show a month. The only time I don't like want to run a show is like starting from like maybe like the best like the months like not to run a show is first one will be August, because that's when like there's like a bunch of fans that are like kids, everybody's going back to school, like parents have to get like kids like their school supplies, get their classes ready and stuff. And then even December through March, because that's kind of winter time, especially like the snowstorm here with Indiana, especially like last month we like dealing with the snowstorm and stuff.
Right. So with that, what what is your style of wrestling for your company?
My basic style is let's just say the only thing I don't the only thing I will never do like for my promotion is death matches. Because I can promise you, nobody wants to be in a death match. I don't want to be in a death match. I don't want to put my body at risk. Be like, you're gonna hit me like with like a barbed wire bat or a light tube. That's gonna put my life at risk, and I'm gonna be like scarred for like the rest of my life. Because I've seen wrestlers that were in death matches, and I've seen like the scars they have. I was like, it's like, oh my god, like I don't understand like how they do that.
Right.
My basic like of wrestling is basically like the rules is like we follow like the NWA rules, where if we don't allow pile drivers, like those kind of moves in the ring, like for one-on-one matches, if you do a pile driver, it's an automatic disqualification. If you throw your opponent over the rope, that's also an automatic disqualification. Now there have been times like they're like opponents, they're like they'll throw a closed fist. We'll get on them about that. I mean, they'll get like a warning, but if they keep doing that, then that would be like if they like disobeyed the referee's rules on that, then like you doing like 5 or 6 times, then that'll be like a disqualification.
So, would it be safe to say that you're more of a traditional style of booking?
Yes.
And with that, who were some of your favorite wrestlers that you used to look up to or still do?
I mean, because when I first became a wrestling fan, I was a fan of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Edge, and Jeff Hardy. Triple H was like my number one favorite.
And I'm super curious. What makes you want to go with the NWA style of booking, as far as no over the top ropes and no pile driver? What drives you to do that?
Well, it was like originally how like when the first company started before I even owned it, like when the previous owner did it, because he also like owns like another promotion like that does that style. Because with his company, like the other one, which of course is Supreme Wrestling down in Madison, Indiana, because they used to be under the NWA banner.
Okay, so you're just following along with that tradition.
Right.
Okay, love that. I'm a big NWA buff. That's what I was raised upon.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy that booking style. Um, with championships, um, how many championships do y'all have under your banner?
For like for Indiana Heritage.
Yes.
So I mean, I got the championship belt. The only championship belt I don't have with me is the heavyweight belt one, and that's in which course I trust that in the person who is like my champion right now, which is you probably heard of him, Danger Josh Crane.
Yes.
And actually, I do have the belts with me in my hand if you want me to show you.
Sure.
So first, this is what this is the secondary belt. Like this is one of the tag belts that we have. This is the Indiana Heritage Tag Team Championship.
Oh, that's a beautiful belt,
Thank
and
you.
it has a WCW style.
Mm-hmm. It does. And you'll see, like, also on the second logo, we're also partners with another big long company called um, Allied Independent Wrestling Federation, which, of course, that stands for AIWF.
Know them well. Matter of fact, I think in 2 weeks I will be talking to the owner.
Oh, okay. Matt Classic Creed?
Yes, sir.
Oh, heck yeah. And then the next belt I have with me, because this one's going to be the Indiana Heritage Women's Championship.
Another beautiful belt. Look, so love the way they look. They're beautiful belts.
And now, and then lastly, this is like another one that me and this wrestler we came up with, because I've seen like other promotions, they have like a mid card belt, like mostly like they choose like United States Championship. So we come up with something different than that. Let's just say for Indiana, like our slogan is "We are the crossroads of America." So we come up with this mid card title. We call it the Indiana Heritage Crossroads Championship. And as you can tell, here is, oops, sorry.
Oh, I like that. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And has the big gold belt feel to it.
Yeah, it kind of has like the kind of like the texture like the big gold does. I mean, like the plate and stuff. That's like from the usually like that's when it has like the TNA X Division style.
True, very true, very true. So with the how long have y'all you been in business so far?
Well, I mean, like I said, we kind of like started around like April or May of 2023, and then we started being, and then like because we usually have like Indiana Heritage matches with Supreme like down there in Madison, Indiana. Those one back then we had a commissioner named of Anthony Mullins. Like he was only there for a little bit, but then he stepped away, and then we had like a booker with us, and then of course we started like having our own shows down at the Race and Mason in Seymour, Indiana, which of course that's where we used to run our shows. And then by the time July of 2024, we were going to run our next event. Apparently, out of nowhere, the people of the venue, they decided they're going to do renovations without even telling us. And then the place like where we have the ring at, apparently with the after the renovation is complete, there's not going to be any room to fit the ring at. So that's why it's right now it's been on hiatus. Like the company still exists. I mean, we just had that's like the issue that we had with the venue. But
Right.
then when I find a venue, soon hopefully we'll start getting our shows back.
So with you were telling me that you work with another promotion. Is that something that you enjoy doing, collaborating with other promotions?
I mean, yeah, because like with this band, like this business has been like a blessing, like in my heart, because I met some good people like in the business. Like I've worked, they're like the promotions, like I've worked for like New Era Wrestling, Wrestle Arts, Summit Pro, Emerge Wrestling, Supreme Wrestling, of course. Before I even owned it, of course, Indiana Heritage Wrestling and Professional Wrestling Alliance, which of course they used to run down. They run down in Kentucky.
Okay. What do you find um, working with other companies? What do you find that is what makes it good to work with other companies?
Well, like I said, you just gotta look at the product, and then of course, working with the company. Let's just say, even when you're training, let's just say who you're trained at. Like let's just say like a company that wants to rent like the ring where you're trained at. So like where the other different company they rent that ring, which of course part of your training, which of course paying your dues, which you go like you help set up the ring, you stay there for the event, which of course you'll like watch the show too as well. And then by the time the show is over, you help tear down the ring and then get it back to the place where the owner like usually keeps the ring at. Because that's like because by the time you actually do pay your dues, that's when you're about to get your foot in the door. Hopefully you get yourself moved up. Because that's like how I did. Like when I helped another promotion up in Connorsville, and then that's when like they didn't have like a referee. I was there like helping set up the ring first. They're like asking like, "Hey, like what shirt size do you wear?" I said 2XL. They're like, "Okay, you're reffing." I was like, "Wait, what? You're reffing?" I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I kind of like moved myself up.
So with moving yourself up, you're getting to learn so many different avenues and things in the wrestling business. Do you think that is that with learning that way helped you feel like you were ready to own your own promotion?
Yes.
So what has been the most difficult thing for yourself as far as learning in the business? Was it like just being a wrestler, or when you did refereeing, or another aspect of the business that you found was a little tougher than you imagined?
I mean, like I said, like when I first got into training, like learning like how to like coordinate a match, like doing like a move, like that's like makes sense. That was like the most difficult part, and that's when like I got like frustrated and stuff. I was like, because like I said earlier, like I was like getting frustrated. I was like what could I do to like get better, like to make it make sense to happen in a match.
That's cool.
Hmm.
So, what do you find yourself um, being able to give advice to people now? What do you find yourself wanting to make sure wrestlers who ask your opinion on the sport, what is something that you really want them to understand and know above anything else?
To me, because like the opinion, like the advice they'll ask me be like if I book a match, they'll like ask me like what do you want done in the match? Do you want like any like policies or anything? Like it depends on the match card and stuff. Because they're like I've seen like some promoters they say like for their matches, no falsies before the main event, or like don't do anything like outside the ring because they're like another match there's gonna be like doing stuff like outside the ring.
So, what is your long-term plans for your promotion? What do you want to see Indiana Heritage Wrestling go in the next 5 years?
Ooh, next 5 years. Ooh wee. I hope to draw like more people because my goal is to draw 600 people. I mean, because now like there's sometimes there'd be like days where like some people are not into wrestling. Like I've seen people like promotions like we can only draw like 20 people in the crowd, or they're like I said, it could be like a hit and miss. Usually, like in the summertime, it's like the worst because it's hot outside. People don't want to go out in the heat, or in the wintertime, people don't want to go out in the snow because it's with the weather and stuff. But that's what I want to see Indiana Heritage do in the next 5 years. Like grow our product, have big fans. Like my goal is like I want to draw 600 people.
That is so cool. Um, with your championships,
Mm-hmm.
how do you plan on getting them champions? Or do you plan on doing a long stretch tournament, or a 1 day tournament? How do you plan on getting your champions?
So what I plan on doing is my plan is first because with the tag belts, I'll book. It'll be this will be like kind of like a quick tournament. I'll have to book 4 teams, and then that way because now another thing I've been told if I'm gonna do like an 8-man like tag team tournament, it's gonna be like that's gonna be like really expensive. So right now I'm planning on because the plan like I want to do is like have 7 matches. So I'll have 4 teams. Two of those, two of the first matches of those, whoever the winner of those will face each other in the main event in the finals. The other match I want to book is like a women's match, and then hopefully like 2 singles matches.
Okay.
And I'll
So,
and I'll, and, I, and I'll even like do that for like for the singles side. Let's just say I'll try to book 8 men, but like instead of like doing like tournament where like they face each other like different people like in the set like doing like rounds. So like 8 men, I'll do have four of those winners in the beginning face each other in the main event. It'll be like a fatal four-way elimination match.
Okay. What about with the women's title?
Doing the same thing as well with the women's, like have 8 women, do 4 winners, have them all face each other, like in the main event elimination, like fatal four-way elimination match.
Cool. So, what do you think your younger self would tell your older self, knowing that you have made it into the wrestling business and that you own your own promotion? What do you think your younger self would say to you?
My younger self is, are you prepared for this? I would say, I'll prepare myself. I just got to plan it ahead.
Do you think your younger self will be super proud of you?
I hope so. Let's just say that.
Did you imagine as as a little kid that one day you could get to these heights with just your love and determination? Did you ever think you could make it here?
No, I didn't think I would make it to this far where I am.
If you had the opportunity to book any wrestler free of charge, you didn't have to pay them. You could get any wrestler, dead or alive. Who would it be to wrestle on your show and why?
Well, I would say if I wanted to wrestle someone, it would have to be now this guy like this guy, his legacy will live on ever since he passed a couple years ago, and it's Bray Wyatt. Because of his creativity, like his mind, ever since, because his father was in the business, he was the IRS man, and then when he got into it, which of course he finally had a character, he was very creative, like how he can make the character work, and then he started like changing like his gimmick as like the Fiend, like that was like very incredible, like of that character and stuff, and that's like cool, like that kind of version, like I would like to see like face to face, like as a wrestler in a match with him.
Did you know that his uncle and his grandfather was in the business also?
I knew his uncle was. I didn't know his. You said his.
Grandfather.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know who his grandfather was. I didn't know who, like his uncle was.
Barry Windham, Kendall Windham. That's his uncle's. He's named after Barry. That's what his real name was, Windham.
Right.
And his grandfather was Blackjack Mulligan, so he definitely had wrestling in his blood. And like you said, IRS, Mike Rotundo, that family, his family has a great lineage in wrestling, and his mindset. A lot of people were surprised on how great his mindset was, but looking at his family history, I don't. If you know it, you understand why it was the way it was.
Right.
Very creative family.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go, would you are there any people out there you would like to give shout outs to and thanks?
I would give a shout out to my Indiana Heritage champion, Danger Josh Crane. I would give a shout out to Eric Draven, and also people that work for Supreme who are now like OVW superstars, Steven Steele, JJ Lawson, and Tegan Thorne.
So I would like to thank you for not only coming on my show, but thank you for continuing to make wrestling thrive and be a great sport. A lot of people never get to hear how people appreciate them and basically get their flowers. I'm a big firm believer in giving people their flowers because you're doing so much, not just for yourself, but for all us wrestling fans who didn't get a chance to live our dreams. We're getting to live our dreams through you, and you're keeping the wrestling business alive so the next generation and the generation after that can enjoy it and see and understand why we love it so much. So I want to tell you thank you for that.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Guys, girls, this has been another amazing conversation around the campfire. Again, we as fans really don't have the real ideal of what these guys and girls go through to continue making the dream that we want to have and love a reality. And I always will say, if you get a chance to talk to a wrestler or owner or a referee or anyone in the business, make sure you thank them because they are doing so much for us. And if it wasn't for them, where would this great sport be? So make sure you thank them. And also, before I always leave my podcast, I always say this message. Please, please, please go support your local wrestling promotion. You never know who you are seeing in the beginning stages of their dreams, and down the road could be a world heavyweight champion for a major promotion. You never know. Plus, when you go to an indie show, you get a whole different feel that you can't get in the majors. You actually can talk to a wrestler. You actually can get to meet them and support them. I mean, buying their merch because a lot of the guys and girls make their own merchandise. So please be supportive. And as I always say on this great tidbit, you could go to a wrestling show with money in your pocket and come out with money in your pocket. It is priced so you can take your entire family. So please support your local indie wrestling promotion. With that being said, I am Professor Bear. This has been the Bear's Thought, and we will see you again around the campfire very, very soon. Y'all take care.